Have you ever noticed how quickly the headlines can change when a celebrity family is involved in a legal battle? That's exactly what's happening now with Mingus Reedus, the 25-year-old son of actor Norman Reedus and model Helena Christensen. Over the weekend, Mingus was arrested in New York City following an alleged assault that left a 33-year-old woman with minor injuries. What began as 2 charges has now grown into 5. After prosecutors added more counts in connection with the case, Mingus, however, has pleaded not guilty to all of them, setting the stage for what could be a long and closely watched legal process. With famous parents and an established modeling career of his own, the case has generated attention far beyond the courtroom, raising questions about what really happened, what the evidence will show, and how this situation could impact his career moving forward. According to New York City Police, officers responded to the incident early Saturday morning, around 8:40 a.m., where they discovered a woman who reportedly suffered minor injuries to her neck and leg. Initially, Mingus was charged with 1 count of assault and 1 count of criminal obstruction of breathing. But that wasn't the end of it. Shortly afterward, prosecutors filed additional charges, including assault for recklessly causing physical injury, aggravated harassment, and harassment. That brings the total to 5 charges currently pending. These aren't the most serious charges on the books, since they remain misdemeanors or lower, but they are serious enough to put Mingus in the middle of a case that demands explanation and accountability. For a young model who has been working on carving out his own identity in the fashion world, this situation comes as an unwanted spotlight and a personal challenge. In his first court appearance on Saturday, Mingus stood before a judge and entered a plea of not guilty to all counts. This means he and his legal team intend to fight the accusations head-on, rather than negotiate a quick settlement or plea deal, at least at this stage. His next scheduled court date is set for Tuesday, August 26th, when the case will continue to unfold. Legal experts say that early stages like these are often about setting the tone, whether the defense will push for dismissal, how the prosecution frames its evidence, and whether any negotiations behind the scenes could take place. The plea of not guilty signals confidence from Mingus and his attorney that the case is defensible. Still, it also raises the stakes, because going to trial or even further hearings means more public exposure, more scrutiny, and potentially a longer process that drags his name into headlines again and again. Mingus's attorney, Priya Chaudhry, released a statement defending her client and pushing back against the narrative put forward by the prosecution. In her email to the press, she emphasized that innocence will become clear as the facts emerge, reminding the public that comments made by prosecutors in court do not amount to actual evidence. Chaudhry highlighted that prosecutors chose to charge Mingus with misdemeanors or lesser counts rather than felonies, which she argued speaks volumes about the strength of the case. This type of statement is a classic defense strategy, aimed at shifting public perception, showing confidence, and attempting to frame the charges as less serious than they might initially sound. Whether that framing holds up depends entirely on what evidence and testimony eventually come to light. But it sets a tone of defiance from the defense and a belief that they can control the narrative as the case moves forward. At the end of the day, this situation remains in its early stages, and many details are still unknown. For now, what we know is this: Mingus Reedus, son of 2 famous parents, faces 5 misdemeanor charges following an alleged assault in New York City. He has pleaded not guilty. His defense insists that the truth will clear him, and prosecutors are preparing to argue otherwise in court. The outcome of the case could affect his personal life and professional career, but it will also serve as another example of how public figures navigate the intersection of fame, media, and the justice system. Fans and critics alike will be watching closely as the court date approaches, but until the facts are presented in full, speculation will continue to swirl. For now, One thing is certain, this is a story that is far from over, and the next chapter will play out inside a courtroom in Manhattan.